Hey guys, how you doing? Uncle Bob here once again with another video, and today we're going to be doing the what movie franchise is better between Keanu Reeves' Matrix franchise and his other franchise that's probably now just as successful, the John Wick franchise, and obviously it's both starring Keanu Reeves. So it's going to be self versus self situation. Obviously, started the Matrix in around 99, I think the first one was. Um, Nearly almost 25 years ago. Cool. Long time ago now, but certainly a game changer, as I consider it. Definitely, I think just changed, completely the way that movies go. I think I think Blade, you had Blade in '98, and then sort of Matrix, and for me it was sort of both of those films, or at least Matrix, sort of like just a complete game changer. It was just doing stuff in that movie that we hadn't seen before. It took stuff from like the basics to sort of like the next level. We like running along walls and on ceilings and fight scenes and just like sort of futuristic. And it sort of stepped up from sort of like the '90s action where it's sort of all quite, it was good, but it's all quite basic. And then sort of Matrix sort of took it to the next level. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, so self versus self, his other franchise side. But just absolutely, Keanu Reeves, what more can you say? Just absolutely fantastic actor and choreographer, fight scenes, just remarkable. He's made 4 in each now, which is just fantastic. Not sure if there's any more Matrix to come. I haven't heard anything about it. I thought there was going to be only 4 John Wicks, but I've heard there's discussion of a possible another film being made at some stage, but I don't know. But yeah, so let's kick things off. Let's see what franchise is better. So obviously, start off with The Matrix, and it's going to go against John Wick, the first one. Now, obviously, Matrix was released in '99, and as I said, it's just a complete game changer for me. Yeah, I just thought it was great. At the beginning, a great idea. Yeah, and just fight scenes, just like the next level type stuff, and the stunts, action scenes. Yeah, just really, really good stuff. Yeah, at the beginning it takes a while to sort of pick up and get to sort of, any sort of action. Once it picks up, it's just really, really good. Towards the end, it's just really fantastic with that iconic scene with doing it's been quite an iconic sort of thing now, the Matrix. It's just become an iconic thing, that stepping backwards and dodging the bullets scene that Neo performs in that, and we've seen it, I think, in wrestling where they lean backwards, duck, and move. And it's been seen in dance routines and all sorts. So that's become an iconic thing that a lot of people have took that idea from. Leaning backwards. I think I've tried it a few times when I was younger, much younger. Unsuccessfully, I might add. Never achieved anything such near as perfection as Keanu Reeves did it. I'm not sure even how they actually did do that, but yeah, and it's just fantastic, really, really good. Just a complete change. I don't think at the time we'd had anything quite like it. So yeah, just you can't fault it really. As I said, it just the only thing I can say is that maybe it just takes quite a while to sort of actually get to sort of any sort of action and pick out a point. But yeah, he's obviously now is just discovering who he is and what his purpose was, and it was all good stuff. And then obviously it's going against John Wick the First, which was released in about 2015, I believe it was. This actually, I thought this was just going to be like sort of a one-off film. I didn't know there was going to be a franchise of it, or at least not 4 films. I thought it was just one of them films where, because as before, I think he'd only done The Matrix as a franchise. I don't think he did. All the other films, I'm pretty sure all the other films he did were all sort of like just one-off type films. As far as I know, I think the Matrix was the only. Oh, of course, he did Bill and Ted. Uh, Keanu Reeves did Bill and Ted, which was a franchise, but I can't think of many others that he did that's sort of like sequels. He's made so many, so I just assumed that this was going to be a standout sequel. Didn't realise it was going to be 3 more in the series. And yeah, this was, as I said, I thought this was, as I said, just going to be a one-off, and I thought it was all right actually. I didn't think it was anything as good as The Matrix. I mean, it started off quite basically, just a normal, straightforward action film, but then it sort of picks up and gets better as it goes in. I mean, it is still pretty good, um, and there's good action in there and a good storyline. There's a few bits I don't like. I don't like seeing the dog getting killed in it. I'm a huge animal person, so I don't like seeing animals getting killed in films. So I didn't like that. But said the action is pretty good. But as I said, I just thought it was quite a simple, basic film. Not as anywhere near to the quality of The Matrix. So I'm going to say it's 1-0 to The Matrix, because I think John Wick's good, but Matrix it was just a game changer. Just some of the stuff that they were doing were just crazy. So it's 1-0 to Matrix. Now let's go to now Matrix Reloaded. Now this actually happens to be one of my favourite sort of sequels to just obviously a great Matrix film, but then this as a sequel was just absolutely off the charts. Really, this was just, I remember seeing it and just thinking, wow. I mean, you thought some of the stuff that you'd seen in Matrix was good. I mean, this just takes it up even another level after that, into some of the stuff they're doing in terms of the action scenes, and the special effects and everything, which is just insane, really, to be honest. There's some good bits that I really, really do like, and yeah, it's just absolutely, it's pretty good all the way through. To be honest, there's not really any time where it's not good, or it's just fantastic all the way through. To be honest, and just one of my favourite sequels. Just fantastic. And then actually going against John Wick 2, which was released in about 2017, I think it was. Now this actually takes it up a level, another level from John Wick 2. Now obviously he is now fully in John Wick mode, so there's no sort of build up, and he's continuing the story from John Wick. And this definitely takes it up another level, and it's a very, very good sequel. The action's really, really good. It's got good pace to the movie. And it's just get more interesting as the story develops. And the action scenes are a lot better in this than the first one, so definitely a step up. And way, way better. But I am a huge fan of Reloaded, and Reloaded is one of my favourite sequels. And I think it's just, I mean, it is John Wick 2 is a strong sequel, and there's a lot of good stuff going on, and it is definitely better than the first. But in terms of what they're doing, what they did, in Reloaded, um, I have to give it to Reloaded, I think, because even though John Wick is quite a strong sequel, Reloaded, they were just doing just insane, crazy stuff, even more crazy than the first, and just fantastic all the way through, and just loads of good action, special effects, and just, yeah, it just takes your breath away at times, and just very good. So yeah, I'm afraid it's 2-0 to Matrix, I'm afraid. So that's that. So yeah, 2-0 to Matrix at the moment. Now let's go on to Matrix Revolutions. Now this was actually released not long after. They sort of done back to back, Matrix Reloaded, and then yeah, it was, I think, because they made them quite early, so there wasn't really a long gap. Matrix 99, Reloaded Revolutions was 2003, and yeah, this was like a few months after Matrix Reloaded. So they're quite back to back. You usually don't get that with them. You usually get like 2 or 3, sometimes even longer year gap for the next film. But this come, yeah, a few months after, and yeah, it's it's the end of the, or at least it was at the time, the end of that trilogy, and yeah, it's just a combination of all the things, the events that have happened in the Matrix, and it's just coming down to this one last battle. But I have to say, I don't think I like this as much as Reloaded. As good as it is, I think I like Matrix Reloaded better. For me, I don't know. There is a lot of good stuff going on, but there's a battle scene that I'm not really a huge fan of. It's sort of like in the actual it takes place sort of, I think it's in the actual Matrix itself, where there's these crazy machines going on, and yeah, it's just I'm not a huge fan of that battle, to be honest. I think it's a bit rushed, and yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of that. And it's sort of, from what it was in Matrix Reloaded, I think it was sort of like a perfect sequel, whereas this is sort of, yeah, it's just that fight battle that I'm not a huge fan of. The only thing that really is really good is the actual final battle between Mr. Smith and Neo, which is a very good battle, and that is really that is really the most standout or best bit of the movie, to be honest, is that final battle, which is really good, and it's a good way to end that trilogy. And yeah, it is very good. But it's just though a few bits that I don't like, and I just don't like it as much as Reloaded. And as I said, that battle, which is within the actual Matrix, I'm just not really a huge fan of. Yeah, but it's still pretty good, to be honest. I think it did quite well at the time. So anyhow, that's going against John Wick Parabellum, which is obviously the third sequel. Now this really takes it to the next level. I mean, you think that it's a step up between John Wick and the first John Wick and this, you know, John Wick 2's a step up, but John Wick 3's even another level after that, and just takes the action up to another level, and just the choreography that's going on in this is just crazy, and it's really really good all the way through actually. Um, and yeah, there's not really a lot of time where there's any room to breathe, or it just sets it up for the next action scene to the next. You see one action scene take place, and then it's not long after for the next one takes place, and the next one it's the pace of it is just is really fast. As I said, you really have a chance to get your breath back for the next action kicks in, and it's really really good, very good pace, and just a fantastic sequel to the second one. Again, it just takes it up another level. Now, I'm tempted to give, because it's currently, I said, 2-0 to the Matrix. I am tempted to give it to John Wick 3 because it is very, very good and strong. And Matrix Revelations I don't like as much as Reloaded, but the fight scene is really good between Neo and Mr. Smith. And it is sort of like the last one where it's the final battle, which means so much. I think if you took the final battle between Mr. Smith and Neo away, I certainly would give it to John Wick. But it's just the fact that that's the final battle, which is just so good and so meaningful, that I'm sort of leaning towards that. Sort of torn between the two. But I think I sort of will sort of say more. I think in general, I think actually I do prefer John Wick 3 to be honest, because there's a few bits I don't like in that. But due to the fact is the final battle, I'm leaning more towards Revolutions. So I'm sort of torn, but it's sort of leaning more towards that because it's the final battle. But yeah, so. But we'll say it's even. But obviously Matrix is still winning. Now let's go on to the last film now. So we'll go with The Matrix Resurrections. Now, this was released in, was it 2021? I thought it was 2019, but no, 2021 I believe. I think it was about a year after all the events like COVID started and all the restrictions and lockdowns and all the palaver going on. Now, I was very, very excited when I knew. I thought that Revolutions was the end, because there was just nothing after the events of Revolutions. There was just nothing. I think there was some sort of cartoon sort of film or something that was released, but yeah, for me it sort of ended there, and there was sort of nothing for years. And there was no news of any sequel or anything, and I thought that was it. I thought it was just free, there was going to be no more. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if I just saw the trailer for it, or yeah, I just see that there was another Matrix. I thought, I was really excited because I'm a huge fan of the Matrix, and I really do like the franchise. And then I was, when they announced this, I was really excited. And I thought, oh great, another film. Saw the trailers. I thought, yeah, this is going to be really, really good. Now, there's good bits and there's bad bits, unfortunately. You think, because of how good the first three were, this was going to be sort of either just as good or even better. Now, unfortunately, it isn't. Now, the reason for it is, let's look at let's look at what's bad first of all. The bad thing is, I'll point out that Lawrence Fishburne, who was fantastic, I have to say, in the first 3 Matrix films, isn't in this. I don't know whether it's his not to have been in it, or whether he was just too out of shape or whatever. But they replaced him with some other younger guy, and yeah, he was all right, but he's just not in the same league as Lawrence Fishburne, I have to say. So yeah, he's in this instead, which is a downer. I think there's a couple of younger characters that are all right but not great. Then obviously there's what do we call it? Carrie-Anne Moss, I think it is, who was in the original, so that's pretty good that she was in it. And obviously Keanu, the man himself, back in it. Now the other thing that's bad is that Keanu Reeves has sort of, I don't know if he's lost his memory or something, but he's forgotten who he is, and sort of he's got to remember being Neo and getting his sort of powers back and all that. So unfortunately, it's sort of going backwards as I see it. So he's having to train again and go through all that, and it's to me it seems like it was a step back, and you felt in it, you felt when you was watching it, you felt, and we've already been through this. Why do we need to go through it again? That's what it just felt like to me. And I thought we sort of need to move on from this. The events of revolutions. We need to move on, but it's sort of going backwards, and he seems quite weak. He's got no strength because he's still learning again or whatever, or getting his memory back, and he's going through the same thing, which is not great. And he doesn't sort of become Neo or get his power back till the end, which is a bit silly in my opinion. Now the action itself is quite good. I think we have probably seen better in the other Matrix films. I don't think it was anything that we hadn't seen before, so it was alright. As I said, the story itself was quite weak, and I think it could have been better. And yeah, I mean, the good bits is, as I said, Carrie-Anne Moss is back in it. Obviously, Keanu Reeves. Still sticking to the theme of the Matrix. Some of the fight scenes are still pretty good, and then Neo does all his awesome stuff. Obviously, at the end, where he's Neo. But I don't know. He sort of uses powers rather than actually doing like fighting. I don't know if he sort of wanted to take a step back on this and just not do so much. Which is not great, because obviously we wanted to see Keanu's full potential, beating people up, one-on-one fights. But then this sort of takes a step back, and it doesn't really do much, which is, another downer. But yeah, at the end it sort of picks up, and it's alright. I don't think it's as good as the other Matrix films, to be honest. And yeah, it's quite a bit of a disappointment. You had high expectations, and it's just not as good. So there's that. So now it's going against John Wick 4. Sorry about that, guys. There was some noise going on outside. So it's bin day, so they're doing the bins and the rubbish. So there's a bit of noise going on outside. But anyway, it's going against John Wick 4. Now this is absolutely fantastic, I might say. I've seen it twice so far, and it's really, really good. I mean, I think Parabellum was fantastic. This is, I don't know if it is better than John Wick 3, but it is really, really fantastic. I'll probably actually say John Wick 3 is probably the best in the four, but this is really, really good. It's just next level stuff with the fight scenes, just all the way through, absolutely crazy. Just fantastic. And yeah, there's really good scenes, fight scenes. And I actually think it is better than Matrix Revolutions, and it's just really, really good, and fight scenes excellent. So I think overall, Matrix does take it either 3-1 or 2-1, and then the other one's a draw. But yeah, overall, I think John Wick is good and gets better, and 3 and 4 are fantastic. 3 probably being best, but Matrix first two are the strongest. Matrix is fantastic, and just overall, Matrix is better. So guys, that's going to be it for now. Hope you guys enjoy it. Don't forget to just join me for another video, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care, bye for now, see you soon.